and welcome into another edition of The House. Jackson Zuber, Eric Ruby here as always. It's great to see you again, and we will get into some hoop talk, but of course, we have to talk about the state of ASU and Pac-12 football.
Eric, we have to talk about it. You've been getting emails for weeks about it. I'm waiting for my stuff to arrive in the mail. Just post office, I assume, is a little bit slow right now, maybe. But I haven't gotten anything yet. But you've been being blown up about it.
My phone has not stopped ringing. Usually just my parents, but nonetheless, phone still ringing. ASU, of course, still having this weekend's game canceled against Colorado. They were slated to play on Saturday, but that will no longer be happening due to COVID-19 protocols. And the Pac-12 themselves also had some news regarding COVID-19 protocols. Jackson?
That they did. They made a little bit of a weird decision, something that surprised the both of us. They've actually decided that with all these cancellations that they're going to allow to be scheduled non-conference games, something that they were absolutely no way before the season started. They're now deciding to do that. Eric, you have some of the biggest opinions I've ever seen in my whole entire life. All you have are opinions. What do you think about this?
Came out of the room with opinions, and nothing's changed yet. Look, in all honesty, I'm confused. I'm not sure exactly as to why we're allowing this to happen. It's proven to show that not all of the COVID-19 protocols that the Pac-12 already had in place worked. I mean, just look at ASU right now and the games that have been canceled and other games across the conference that have been canceled. There was a no-no before. Things have only gotten worse. To me, it feels like we're addressing more of a want than a need. The Pac-12 wants to have more games. They want less cancellations. But when you're playing with lives, especially, these young players' lives who are looking forward to a full career ahead of them, either collegiate or NFL, you can't play the want game. You have to play the need game.
Yeah, Eric, that sure is a tricky situation, but I know that I want and need to get this show rolling. So let's go ahead and see Jack Johnson's season preview for ASU women's basketball.
With the outbreak of COVID-19, we didn't expect to see scenes like this at Desert Financial Arena, or any basketball arena for that matter, this season. But Arizona State women's basketball will return in 2020 with a new look on offense after the departures of last year's key seniors like Riley Richardson. But forward Iris Embulido is giving no hints as to how this offense might look.
Well, I guess you'll have to wait to see that.
ASU will also have 7 new players this season. Keep in mind there are only 14 roster spots for the Devils in 2020, which means half of the team have never played a game for the Devils before. For most teams, this would set off the rebuilding year alarm, but most teams aren't coached by Charlie Turner-Thorne, who is known for her skill in getting new players acclimated quickly. Turner-Thorne says she expects all newcomers to see the court this year.
We have 6 that all are going to play, all are going to impact us. I mean, probably the 2 that really stand out today, and they're all going to play, I can't emphasize that enough, are Jaden Simmons, a standout point guard out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Her father actually was a All-American football player here, played for Chicago Bears, and he's with North Carolina Panthers now. And then Caitlin Levings, a 6'3" post out of Oklahoma, both just highly skilled players.
If ASU wants to secure a Pac-12 title this season, they are going to have to go through several programs that stand in their way. Stanford is ranked 3rd nationally. Oregon will be strong despite losing Sabrina Ionescu. Arizona is a contender as long as Ari McDonald is on the court, and Oregon State projects to be a top program as well. But coaches in the conference are embracing the challenge.
We're the best conference in the country. That the analytics may be against it, because then we don't have a chance to kind of test ourselves against national competition.
15. Hopefully it's not, but whatever it is, we're grateful for, because this is a unique year around the world, so we just want to play and our players are ready.
ASU begins their season right behind me at Desert Financial Arena this coming Wednesday against Stephen F. Austin. They then start Pac-12 conference play December 4th against USC. There's a lot of roster turnover for the Devils this season, and in most years, they wouldn't be expected to compete for the Pac-12 title. But 2020 is not most years, and that might give the Devils a shot. For House of Sparky, I'm Jack Johnson.
Sun Devil basketball over the last couple of years has had its fair share of big moments. From beating Kansas in 2017 and then again in 2018 to ending last year on a hot streak and looking like a team to be scared of in the NCAA tournament. The thing is, they've had their moments, but for the first time ever, Bobby Hurley's squad has to prepare for a year while dealing with this one word: pressure. Now, pressure is an interesting thing. It can make a person crack under it, but also the right amount of pressure makes diamonds. ASU has never had the combination of high-level recruits and returning stars as it does now. Add on to that the last couple of years of success, and for the first time in a long time, this team is expected to be elite. This year, just sneaking into March Madness is not going to cut it. All season, Bobby Hurley and co. will be playing some sort of balancing game with pressure. Let's visualize this. We've got our game of Jenga set up over here, and this season is a lot like it. Each piece you take increases your confidence, just like each game you win does. So maybe ASU looks good in the Empire Tournament, and we go ahead, we take out a block or two. And then they breeze through conference play. Take another out. Ooh. Look, up their confidence even more. And then they start off strong in Pac-12 play. Let's grab a couple more of them. I hope I don't drop this. So you guys, this is the thing with Jenga. It's a little tough. So we got to remember that every block taken off increases the pressure. Right now at home, you probably get nervous if I reach for this one here, or here, or here. See, that's the thing with pressure. You make the right moves, win the games you're supposed to win, take out the easy blocks, and you get rewarded. You play sloppy, you lose ugly games, you grab the wrong block, and everything, it just crashes down. Just remember, Sun Devil fans, pressure changes everything.
With Thanksgiving being right around the corner, we have one thing to be thankful for. ASU basketball is finally returning. The Sun Devils are coming into this season ranked number 18 in the nation, and they are set to play this upcoming Wednesday against number 2 Baylor in the Empire Classic. We have the return of Remy Martin and the recruitment of Marcus Bagley to the team, which excites the Sun Devils for the upcoming season. But there is one story that has grabbed our attention and Sun Devil fans across Tempe. That's the addition of the new number 13 of Bobby Hurley's team, Josh Christopher. At 6'5", Christopher comes into the program as a 5-star recruit, the highest ranked for ASU, and was labeled the 10th best overall player in the 2020 class. And what makes it even more special is that he'll be joining his older brother, Caleb Christopher. Both of them natives of Carson, California, and products of Mayfair High School, have a history of playing basketball together and bringing winning programs to their alma mater in Lakewood. It's said that every time they hit the floor, it's a guaranteed ticket to see some great offensive entertainment. But we'll see if that happens here in Tempe. Now, the Christophers aren't the only set of brothers who have been able to play together or at the same level. We have Paul Mark Gasol, Stephen and Seth Curry, Horace and Harvey Grant, and most recently, Romello and Lonzo Ball, and so many more beyond them. Also to mention, the Christophers have an older brother by the name of Patrick, who went undrafted in 2010, but was able to get some NBA playing time with the Utah Jazz for the 2014-15 season. So now, the question will be for this season is if the Christophers are the new dangerous duo in college basketball, and can they leap themselves into the NBA and follow in their older brother's footsteps? We'll just have to wait and see.
The hype in Tempe surrounding the men's basketball team is off the charts. A lot of that has to do with the two highly recruited freshmen, Josh Christopher and Marcus Bagley, who are set to make their debuts next week. This week, when they spoke to the media, they said they're the best freshman duo in the country because of the work they've been putting in together and their ability to play both ways. So let's put that notion to the test. If you want to look purely at the preseason numbers and the recruiting rankings, then go straight to Kentucky with Brandon Boston Jr. and Terrence Clark. They are top 10 recruits and projected lottery picks in the 2021 NBA draft. But they're both shooting guards, and while Boston is 6'6" and Clark is 6'7", their games might not complement one another. Meanwhile, Christopher and Bagley should be a seamless fit due to their off-ball and on-ball skills on offense and defense. Let's go to North Carolina, where maybe the games complement each other a little bit more. You've got a point guard in Caleb Love and a center in Day'Ron Sharpe. And while their games are great individually, I'm not quite sure the point guard-center relationship is going to be a Lob City thriller because of Love's focus on scoring over facilitating. The opposite is true of Christopher and Bagley, who are sold on Bobby Hurley's system and moving the ball around, while also getting buckets together. Finally, let's take a look at Duke, who didn't have a first-round pick this year. They will in 2021, as Jalen Johnson is a top 15 prospect. The 6'8" small forward is solid all around, but isn't explosive with his footwork. His partner in crime is point guard Jeremy Roach, who is a well-rounded player with limited holes in his game, but is neither explosive or charismatic. Christopher and Bagley combine great shooting ability with solid footwork, effort on defense, electric athleticism, and energy that jumps off the screen. So maybe preseason rankings and on-paper projections don't matter, because the experts would say the other three duos are better. Christopher and Bagley don't care what others say. They just put in the work and know the results will come.
Guard U. This moniker has graced Arizona State University basketball since the days of Shannon Evans, Trey Holder, and Cody Justice. But you can't win with just a backcourt full of explosive scoring guards. And over the last few years, the newest iteration of Guard U's flash was backed up by grit. And by grit, I mean Romello White. The Mississippi-born big man signed with ASU in May of 2016 and immediately made his presence felt his freshman year. And after a small dip in production sophomore year, White was a crucial part of the 2019-2020 team's success. His tough and bully-like post play gave an aggressively beautiful yin to the yang of guards like Remy Martin and Rob Edwards. I would say the box score doesn't do him justice, but his averages of 10 points, 9 boards, and over a block a game still tell the story of an integral part of ASU's success. All of that, along with starting 93 of the 95 games he played in Tempe, made White not just a part of the team, but a piece of its soul. Unfortunately for Bobby Hurley and Guard U, their interior anchor decided to return home after last year and play his final collegiate season at Ole Miss as the number 2 grad transfer in the nation. This left the Sun Devils with an undeniably large problem to solve, coming into a year filled with incredible young prospects, a senior poised for national recognition, and some serious pressure to perform. Now, Guard U is not hopeless, as they'll look to players like the explosive Jalen Graham to step into that starting role and contribute immediately as a pick and roll and serious lob threat for all of ASU's dangerous ball handlers and playmakers. It seems as if White's departure has been swept to the side, which of course makes sense when you want to focus on this year's team and make a deep run into this strange season's version of March Madness. But we would be remiss to not acknowledge the impact of the enforcer and now Ole Miss Rebel, Romello White, and wonder if his absence could sting a little more than expected.
What do you get when you combine 2 top 30 national recruits, a 4-star Ukrainian, and a 6'9" rim grazer? Mix all those ingredients up, and the result is the number 7 recruiting class in the nation. And that's exactly what ASU did in the 2020 cycle. The question was, could they repeat that success in 2021? While the circumstances that brought the likes of Josh Christopher and Marcus Bagley, who were the highest ranked tandem in program history, to Tempe, might not be as readily available, the Sun Devils have already had a trio of prospects put pen to paper. As it currently stands, ASU has the number 54 class in the nation and number 7 in the Pac-12. While those numbers certainly might not pop off your screen, this year's evaluations are extremely subjective, thanks in no small part to a lack of in-person events due to COVID-19. At the top of the current class is 3-star guard Damari Williams, who transferred to Glendale Dream City Christian this season from Fulshear, Texas. A pair of 3-star forwards round out the signees, including sharpshooter Justin Rochlin from Northridge, California, and low post threat Will Felton out of Chatham, Virginia. ASU added a 4th prospect just a few days ago, securing the commitment of 3-star forward Jemiah Neal out of Phoenix Hillcrest Prep, but he hasn't quite signed just yet. With one more signing day approaching in April, there's still potential for ASU's class to improve. With Bobby Hurley at the helm, the expectation is nothing less.
Wow, it's crazy. We really have been able to cover everything to do with ASU basketball on this episode. The past, the present, and then even the future. And you know what? It really has me excited for this ASU season.
Absolutely. We've been talking about it for so long. Josh Christopher, Marcus Bagley, Bobby Hurley, Remy Martin, everything's finally coming together. Hopefully, we could see a full season. We'll keep you up to date with that and, of course, whatever happens with football going forward. But overall, fun show.
Yeah, it's definitely been a fun one. We're hoping for a full season. We had a full fun show, you could say. And I thank everybody who contributed and everybody who listened for tuning into The House. I'm Jackson Zuber, Eric Ruby, closing it out.